Hey there YouTube, Leapmaster here, bringing you a video review after a rather lengthy absence. I do apologize about that, but honestly, I didn't even know if I was going to come back to make videos. Kind of lost the spark there for a while, but after some encouragement and after some inner thought and inner introspective, I once again want to try getting back into the video producing world. And I'm going to start, as you can see, with the high-grade Build Divers Re-Rise GLs. This is a customized version of the G-Self, a series from a Gundam from the series Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G, which was a beautiful mess. That anime was beautiful to look at, awful to follow. Like, I'm not a fan. The mobile suit designs, I am a fan of. The story, not so much. The art, beautiful. And for the model kits, they're hit and miss. Unfortunately, more miss than hits. The G-Reco itself, though, it's kind of in the middle. It's kind of a good gauge to like show you what kind of kit you're gonna get from the G-Reco line, and that it's not fantastic, but they look decent and look nice on a shelf. Now this is a customized version of the G-Self, which is the titular Gundam from Reconquista and G, and it looks fantastic with this super edgy dark design. It is primarily molded in this really dark gray with some stark black parts here for the chest and on the sides of these little booster pods. And it has some dark, like, clear pink colors here. It almost looks red when you look at it in the right light, but it is a pink, a clear pink. And it looks fantastic. You even have it inside little boosters right here. Hard to see, but they're there. If you shine a light in the back, it can shine forward through it a little bit, so it's kind of got like light piping. And it's got this very strange, like, I don't know how to describe that color, but this darker pink color right here on the skirts and in the chest. And of course, it's got the standard gray of the internal frame. It's the joints. And this kit looks fantastic right out of the box, but there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of painting that you'll have to do if you want this thing to look accurate to the line art. First off, we're going to look at the head. And in the head, we are gifted from the box a bunch of stickers. Like, everything on there that's not the dark gray or the white of the chin is a sticker. We have some dark pinkish colored stickers on the sides. We have 4 sets of 4 eyes, which is actually really nice looking. And those are made out of stickers as well. That looks pretty good. A lot nicer than the Seltsum with its 4 eyes thing going on. Another sticker right there. Forehead and back of the head camera. And this big thing right here, which is the worst sticker on the entire kit. There isn't a single sticker on this that is worse than that. And it is on the freaking forehead. But, in this kit's defense, that same sticker exists on the G-Self. It's just because there's very little color separation here. There's a little bit of white on the back here, so if you just wanted to paint that pink, it wouldn't be so hard, but still, that is awful. Especially considering the G-Self came off of the heels of the Gundam Age line, and those kits were phenomenal when it came to color separation. Like, this is pathetic when you compare it to a Age kit in terms of color separation and engineering. But I digress. Going on with the stickers, we now have 2 pink stickers in the abdomen right here. There's 4 pink stickers on the shoulders right there and on the back. a pink sticker in the elbow, which is a very nice and interesting detail. I do appreciate that. A pink sticker on the inside underneath this clear pink piece. We have a lot of stickers on the legs. We have pink stickers that go around the round parts on each side of the leg. One in the back, another one for the joint, another pink sticker right there. And underneath both of these clear pink parts are more stickers. So tons of stickers, not as many as the original G-Self, because the G-Self had a bunch of stickers on the feet and on the, actually no, there weren't any stickers on the backpack. It was mostly just the feet, but those feet stickers were awful. It had to add some white details to it. And some blue stickers that went on blue parts, which made no sense whatsoever, but whatever. Whatever, Bandai. Now then, the colors on this kit, like I said, need to be fixed. You need to do a lot of painting in order to get this thing done well. And even if you decide to use the stickers, there's still a lot of missing color detail. Like in the head, the Vulcans here are supposed to be painted pink. Let's see. It's not much on the arms that's missing. It's not much on the torso that's missing. Here in the waist, just some panel lines and all that. That's easy enough. But the worst offenders for color inaccuracy are the feet. See these? Those are supposed to be white claws. They're very much not white. And that ruins the look of the feet right here. And I'll get to the feet when I get to the accessories. But that is a shame. A huge shame that such a cool, prominent part of the design is just left untouched. You don't get stickers for it. It's obviously not a separate piece. They very easily could have made it a separate piece, I think. There just need to be like a little white piece that comes in here. But they decided not to. Don't know why. And it really upsets me because I love feet claws so much. And just, these are incomplete. Like that missing detail is such a pain in the booty. But I digress. Outside of that, even out of the box, without those details, it still looks really good from a distance and stands out on your shelf for its dark, edgy design. Now, let's move on with the review, shall we? And let's talk about articulation, which is, for me, the worst part about G-Reco kits. Like, with the exception of a couple, every G-Reco kit I have and have experienced suffers in the articulation department because of the weird engineering that they decided to go with. Starting from the neck down, we have a double ball joint, which is a standard polycap, and it does have a nice piece of plastic that wraps around the neck to thicken it up, so, you know, it has pretty good movement, all ways but sideways, and rotating it, don't even think about going any further than that. But honestly, that's as far as you need to go, so I'll give it a pass. The arms have the swing out ball joint, which doesn't accomplish much. And it is on a ball joint, and it can rotate and wiggle. Arms can go out that far. We have bicep swivel, and an elbow joint that can go that far when you pull it out a little bit. But if you slot it all the way in, as deep as the joint's supposed to go, that's all you get. Like, why? You have to pull it out almost halfway to get a bigger and more... I swear this never happens. Actually, it happens quite a lot, and that is a big problem. Anyways, let's continue. But yes, this is not even a good bend still. It's decent. It's more than 90, but being locked at like that when you have the joint all the way in, that is not good. The hands are on ball joints. They can do everything ball joints can do. They're versatile. It has a ball joint at the center of the torso, which does virtually nothing. Get a little bit of side to side and wiggle out of it. The base ball joint at the waist can only really go that far before it starts to pop off. And it has some wiggle room in here. It's not bad, but as you saw, it is wicked loose. I'm hoping that it's just the polycap. And then if I swap the polycap out, everything will be good. here's hoping. The front skirt's on ball joints, so I connected together, so you can separate those very easily, very nicely. Side skirts are on a peg that moves up and down very slightly and rotates forward and back. The hips have that weird little movement that was very popular with kits at this time period, that the G-Self came out, I mean. And with the side skirts moved out, he has that much forward movement, which ain't bad. That much back, which ain't great. This much out, which was pretty bad considering. And even though it has the same, what was it, Gunpla Evolution joint for the hips here, this is all the thigh swivel you get. This is it. Might as well be a ball joint. And let me show you why. In case you haven't built any of the G-Reco kits, and specifically the G-Self, this is why. The joint exists right in there. But for some reason that is eluding me, and that Bandai has not given to anybody, they decided to make the armor part that goes around it completely cup around it. Look at this. That is absurd. I've never seen articulation be purposely locked before. Or maybe I have, but I can't recall it, at least not to this extent. That's bad. A ball joint can accomplish more than this. That's awful. But enough ragging on that joint. Let's continue. We have a knee joint that is just barely over 90 degrees. Like, that's in the part. Talk about that. Here's it straight. Here's the first bend. And the second bend only brings you that far. It looks alright from a distance and from certain angles, but that range is not great, man. And it sounds like I'm ragging on this kit, and I really don't want to because I love the design, but that is... You could have done better, Bandai. At least when you were designing the G-Self. I have to give the G-Else the benefit of the doubt here because of what it was started with, what they designed it off of. So I'm not gonna rag on this particular release for it, but the G-Self has no excuse, especially considering, like I said, that it came out after Age, which was, by and large, one of the best model kit lines that Bandai's ever produced, in my opinion. Anyways, enough of my rambling, let's continue on. The ankle armor here can move up and down. You can wiggle around a little bit. Got some little wiggles on it. There's a little bit of wiggle back here too on this ankle armor. The entire joint itself can move forward and back, like so. And that is on a ball joint. And you'd think that's a good range, but no, it's just popping out. This ball joint, originally on the G-Self, was designed to go into a polycap joint on regular feet. So you get some nice stance as much as this will give you, but you risk losing the feet, which is not fantastic. You get the original feet in this, so if you do want the old G-Self feet, you have that, but why would you? And for the actual foot, you have moving claws right here. And this part will open, like that. Fancy. And these parts will rotate. And that's it. That's all the articulation you're going to get out of this guy. It's not great. Ranges are limited because of really strange design and engineering that I cannot forgive from Bandai. For this specific kit, I'll forgive because of its base, but that base I cannot forgive being as bad as it is in terms of articulation and range. Anyways, let's wrap up this review by going over its accessories. And honestly, I like the accessories a lot, but they're just kind of, shall we say, bland. Because first off, we have what is called, and I am not kidding you, the grow-up arm. I don't understand it, but it is. Anyways, these are little arm gauntlets that go on to these new little ports that are on the back of these arms. And they will just slide right in, peg in. Decent hold. Decent hold. They don't pop out for no reason, but they're not super secure. And this little piece right here that flips out, that's supposed to simulate a handle, but there is no actual handle. So if you want this kit to look like it's holding the weapon while it's attached, you kind of have to do this number to it, which from certain angles doesn't look too bad, but then you get in close and you realize it's not holding a damn thing. So do with that as you will. I just fold them away because I don't care for that look of it holding it, because if it's attached to the arm, why does it need to hold it? Anyways, you get 2 of those little glow-up arms, and interestingly enough, they use the old wings from the backpack of the G-Self. So you got a nice little look to it. And in the instruction manual, it says that the wings have been honed and sharpened, whatever, to be blades, which is fantastic. I love that. So you got little blades on the arms like this, which are ineffective in any way except for running attacks. He has little claws, which are pretty neat, but I don't see them being very useful at grabbing anything, considering how little room you have because of the barrel of the gun. And like I said, it's a gun. It's a beam rifle right there. But better than beam rifle, it's a beam saber. So you get little beams that go in like this, and that looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, the biggest selling point for this kit is its edge and the cool factor. Outside of that, it's got a lot of problems. But going with that, you have 2 blades, as most kits do, and you have the leftover beam rifle from the G-Self with a trigger finger hand. So he can hold it. And it is supposed to have this. It's not like an extra piece. But yeah, that is the entire loadout of the GLs. Oh, I almost forgot its feet. A very strange gimmick is that the feet can pop off, not like that. You're supposed to separate the little feet here from this, and that's the actual foot. This is affectionately called the grow-up leg. Looks like just a foot to me, but this is the grow-up leg, and it can fly around like a little funnel or something, and grab things like a little graboid claw. Just latch onto things and do something. Shoot a beam, probably. And no, you cannot fit a beam saber in there, really. You kind of have to jam it in there, and it doesn't like the stick. But if you drill that out a little bit, you can put a beam saber in there, no problem. So, kind of like that, but it's not a secure hold. And you can just put this on an action base if you'd like. Let's bring one in right here, and boom! Flying foot. I mean, a lot of super robots have flying fists, so why not a foot, right? I prefer having this on the actual kit as like claw feet, because that's way cooler than flying rocket feet. I mean, flying rocket feet has its place in this world, but it's not in my model kit. And that is everything that the G-Self comes equipped with for fighting. It has these 2 grow-up arms, which supply you with 3 melee options and 2 ranged options, and it's got the original beam rifle. But that's not all you get. You do get quite a few leftover parts, and you get like a lot, and most of them are useful. Like I said, you get the original feet with polycaps, so if you want to use those, you can. You get the original shoulder armor, no polycaps, but you just have to recycle those. Or if you've built as many kits as I have, you have a ton of polycaps just lying around, so you can use that. You get the original boosters. The clear part is inside those boosters, but these ones are perfectly fine and serviceable. You get the original backs of the arms. These are useless. I mean, why would you use the regular back of the arms? But it's there. You have a piece from the backpack, also useless, can't use that. You have the original, like, armpit parts that are black, but I like the gray better. You could use these. You have an extra one of these gray neck parts, and you have one in black, so take your pick. You have these parts which go onto the collarbone of the kit, which don't look anywhere near as cool as the ones that are there. You get the rest of the face of the original G Self, so if you wanted to just make a regular G Self face, you can. And you get the G Self's beam sabers, which were always a really neat design. There's nowhere at all to store them, even on the original G Self. And they will accept the regular beams, but they're a little too big for the actual, like, fluted end of the beam saber here, where the beams would be coming out of. And that's something I wanted to point out about the original G Self, is that it came with these interesting, never before seen, super thin beams. Like, look at this. Sorry, it took me a second to take that off. Like, here's the beams that come with the GLs, and here's the beams that came with the G Self. They're a lot longer, but also way thinner. It's the same connection, so if you wanted to use these with the GLs, you can. Whether in the handheld beam sabers, which just can still hold, or in the grow-up arms, you can use that. But yeah, there's a lot of usable parts here. You can make a completely dark gray and black and pink G Self if you really wanted to. The only thing it would be missing would be its shield and the flight unit. And the shield, honestly, is not a big loss because it's a crappy shield. And the flight unit, take it or leave it. It depends on how you like flight units. And speaking of flight units, before I end this review, let's do some comparisons because it deserves it. Now here is the GL in all of its flawed but nice looking glory. And here it is next to its originator kit, the G Self. Again, flawed but looks good. And honestly, the GL doesn't do anything to fix the problems with the G Self. The G Self has the same waist issue. It has the same articulation issues, the same sticker issues, only slightly worse because of the stickers on the feet, and there's little stickers on the collarbone here. And honestly, it's just I have so much I can say about the G Reco line that it warrants its own video, but for one last comparison, before I finally end this video, here it is next to the other kit that came from the same manga, the Shining Break, which is a polar opposite in every way to the GLs, where this GLs makes the G Self look nicer but doesn't fix any issues. The Shining Break completely changes the Shining Gundam, and honestly it fixes a lot of issues I had with the Shining Gundam high grade. But yeah, this is way superior in every way to the kit it's based on, in my opinion, and to its partner kit, the GLs. Whereas the GLs is just kind of a disappointment. But I really can't complain. It looks nice. It's gonna look good on the shelf. I just wish Bandai had brought their A game when they designed the G Reco kits. But instead, it's like they brought their C game. Not even their B game, their C game. Anyways, that's all for me, guys. Hopefully I'm going to be able to bring in more reviews, more videos. I really, really want to for this year. But we'll see with everything going on and with personal life and work and all that. All we can do is see. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.